Welcome back to another edition of Highliner News. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Karina. Time to face your fears.
Reporter Teddy Holkalter helps Max face his fear of chickens.
Alloktorophobia is a word that's used to describe the fear of chickens or hens. Max here is one of those people who suffer from that phobia. Max has had this fear of chickens ever since he was 8 years old.
I was at a restaurant with my parents and there were chickens outside, and for some reason I was out there and they started chasing me, and that's when the fear started ever since then.
How do you react when you see a chicken?
I tense up and freak out, scream high-pitched. I just don't like them.
And are you ready to confront your fear of chickens?
No, I am not.
This here is Moira, a chicken that has been selected by Leah to hopefully help Max conquer his fear of chickens.
Just put your hand on it, okay?
Get back! Teddy!
Leah has this chicken. She's not.
It's scared.
She's not gonna hurt you.
I have it contained.
It's staring at me.
She's not gonna hurt you. You just have to put your.
No!
Trust me. The place where it won't attack you is if you put it on top of its head. It won't hurt you.
Or the wings.
Or the wings.
Yes, they are. They're like.
They won't
I
hurt
have
you.
the wings. They're not gonna escape.
He's gonna peck me. No. They peck?
No.
I touched it.
Okay. Leah.
No! No, I'm not holding it. I hate chickens. I hate birds. They're so scary. It's getting angry.
It's okay. I got her wings. The worst she can do is quack.
Okay. Well, I think that I may have conquered some of my fear by touching ducks, but with chickens still, I don't think I'll go near them anytime soon. I think the chickens are more intimidating just because of their beaks and their eyes. They make it look scary, like they're gonna attack you, and ducks have more of a friendly face, but I think the ducks can be more dangerous than chickens.
For Highliner News, this is Teddy Holkalter.
Valley City is North Dakota's most beautiful town.
Reporter Amelia Meester shows you where you may find some information.
The Rosebud Visitor Center is a hidden gem in Valley City. It's there to provide information for bypassers wanting a nicer drive, or a place you can study up on your North Dakota agriculture and railroad history. There are many exhibits, including a train car from 1881 running through the building. If you'd like, you could also just stop by for some Valley City gift apparel. The Visitor Center is open weekdays all year round, and in the summer, weekends as well. For Highliner News, this is Amelia Meester.
Last year in the classroom, this year in an administrative position.
Reporters Grace Meyer and Alyssa Thompson find out what has changed for Mrs. Govan.
Before becoming a principal, I was a teacher in the classroom. I taught both in the 3rd grade here at Jefferson and most recently in 4th grade at Washington Elementary. I decided to become a principal because I didn't have enough reasons not to become a principal. In my life's dream, would I like to be a principal? Yes. Did I think it was my path right now with 5 kids, 4 of them in school? Not necessarily, but I've seen a number of administrators, in particularly my dad that I lost in February, and I haven't seen a person whose life was as fulfilled as his. So I didn't have enough reasons to not pursue this. The biggest change from the classroom to being a principal would be where your time and energy is focused. So in the classroom, everything you do is for the benefit of those kids that are with you throughout the day, whether it's your reading class, your math class, your social studies class. Now my focus is kind of like a squirrel outside. It just goes from so many places, and depending on the day. There are positives in every single day and every part of our day. However, my energy is spent probably stretched out throughout the day more than it was in a classroom. I get to school by 6:30 in the morning, and I usually don't leave till probably 5:30, and that's some of my own doing, yes, for right now. My new responsibilities are making sure that we as a collective unit here at Jefferson Elementary are providing a foundation for the kids in our building to be successful as they move from building to building. So we're starting our Highliners off from ground zero, and we're making sure that they've got the tools they need to flourish, not only here, but when they get to Washington, and then moving on to the high school.
Reporting for Highliner News, this is Grace.
And Alyssa. Let's get to know one of our new teachers.
Reporters Coy Griebel and Carter Jewett introduce you to Mr. Engen.
I'm the health and phy-ed teacher.
Mr. Engen was previously employed as the superintendent at Max Public Schools for the past 4 years. He grew up in Rogers, Minnesota, and graduated from Elk River, Minnesota. Along with teaching, Mr. Engen is very passionate about sports.
I coach football right now. In high school, I played football and baseball. At one time, I was being looked at by the Chicago Cubs. Technically, I was drafted, yes, but they told me to go to college, so I went to a junior college and played a year of baseball there. We actually had Will Smith perform at our high school. We won a contest. There was a send in postcards, and whatever school had the most won, and so it was actually the Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff performed at our school back before anybody knew who Will Smith was.
From Highliner News, this is Coy Griebel
And Carter Jewett.
Amelia Meester flew across the world to visit Valley City's former exchange student, Maxie.
Reporter Gabriel Herzog brings you the story.
Last summer, the day after I turned 18, I flew to Europe by myself to visit my exchange sister, Maxie. I was in Europe for about 3 weeks. Traveling by myself was kind of scary at first because I felt like I was just a little kid wandering through the airport. But there was only a couple of times that I messed up. I ended up getting sent to Border Police once because my passport wouldn't work. And I also went through the wrong security line at one point, but they just took me anyways. Then they joked around with me that I went there only because it was a cute security guard. But otherwise, I really enjoyed traveling by myself because it was less stressful almost, because you're not going back and forth with other people about where you should go, what you need to be doing now. When I was in Vienna, I noticed a lot of people dress differently. We show up to school in sweatpants and like a sweatshirt or leggings and a t-shirt, but they don't leave their house unless they're wearing nice pants and a nice shirt or a dress. Also the shoes. They don't wear sandals when they go out, like Birks or anything, so they're always wearing tennis shoes. I think it was definitely worth all of the money and the stress that was put towards it, because in the end it was really, really fun and a really good experience to have. And I don't think I would ever get that chance to go to Austria by myself again. So it was definitely worth it.
Reporting for Highlander News, this is Gabriel Herzog.
How well do you know your teachers?
Reporters Sierra Pabst and Kayana Puckett hit the halls to find out.
It's time for
Teacher Trivia.
Which teacher has been to over 35 states? Is it A, Ms. Pekalik, B, Mr. Bushman, C, Mr. Thompson, or D, Mrs. Sather?
Mr. Bushman.
Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson.
If you said C, you're not wrong. Which teacher used to dig graves for a job? Is it A, Mr. Murray, B, Mr. Starr, C, Mr. Engelhardt, or D, Mr. Milbrandt?
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Milbrandt.
Mr. Engelhardt.
Mr. Starr.
If you said B, Mr. Starr, you're correct.
Which teacher knows how to sail a boat? Is it A, Mrs. Gregerson, B, Mr. Nielsen, C, Mrs. Manlove, or D, Mrs. Van Bruggen?
Mr. Nielsen.
Mr. Nielsen.
Mrs. Gregerson.
If you chose D, you're correct. Which teacher is obsessed with Bigfoot? A, Mr. Peterson, B, Mrs. Shenenko, C, Mrs. Elliott, or D, Mrs. Brandt?
Miss Brandt. C, Miss Elliott.
I'm thinking it's got to be Peterson.
A, Mr. Peterson is the correct answer. Reporting for Highlander News, this is Sierra
and Kayana.
Most people at cross-country meets see the athletes run a race. There is a lot that goes on before they toe the line.
Reporter Carly Govan shows you how they prepare for the big event.
Welcome to a behind the scenes of a cross-country meet, EDC edition. First we rode the bus 2 hours north to Grand Forks, where EDC was being held. Once we got there, we set up our tent and kind of checked the place out a little bit. After we set up the tent, we started walking the course. Since we'd already been here, we only walked the last half mile to get familiar with it. And we also made sure we knew where the 1 mile was marked. After we're done walking, we laid down in the tent, relaxed, saved our energy, ate snacks until we ran. We watched the clock until about a half hour till race time, where we made our way over to the start line to start warming up. Everyone kind of does their own warm-ups, does what feels best for them, so that they can feel the best for their race. About 5 minutes before the race, we have a little pep talk just to get everyone in the right headspace, get everyone hype, and wish our teammates luck. After the race, we had an award ceremony because it's EDC. Bryn Leak and Greta Govan got all conference honors, and Coach Belke got EDC Girls Coach of the Year. And then we went back home. Reporting for Highlander News, this is Carly Govan.
Good luck to the cross-country team as they head to their state competition in Jamestown on Saturday.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Highlander News. I'm Karina.
And I'm Olivia.